Everybody. We're going to combine the last three senses kind of into one semi-short note slide, and then we'll cover them in the last few days. But this will kind of be the annotation for these. So the first thing that I love to post to people is just this idea to sit back and think, what would it be like if you couldn't feel pain? If you never felt pain? And think about what would be some of the pros and cons of that. Would that be good? Would it be bad? And why would you feel either way? Okay. And then when you think about it, we're not talking superhero style where you're Superman from Krypton and have some, eternal life forecast. What will your life expectancy be? So you're born a normal mortal human, you can't feel pain. What would that be like? It'd be scary, and it's actually a thing called congenital insensitivity to pain. There's been, news articles and stories done about it. But as we're breaking this down, you have to think about all the troubles and issues that come along with this. So say if you never could feel a broken leg, never went to go get it taken care of, and then the bone separates and maybe you can't walk on it anymore. Or if your hand fell onto a hot plate and you didn't realize it and you get debilitating burns. Or if you're in a car accident and you can't feel the head trauma or the internal trauma to know and to alert yourself to go to get help. Okay, so I think this is just another layer to the importance of kind of some of these senses and how we're able to perceive them and what it does for us as humans. So here's a cool little video, just kind of talks about how the brain and the sense of pain work. So here's our skin, right? We'll start by doing touch. It's kind of out of the order for the group cohort that's in class this week, but nonetheless, it's okay. So here we are with skin. Okay. So when we look at skin, we've got different types of skin. We've got our skin that has hair follicles embedded inside the skin that assist with this sensation. So for instance, if you, lightly touch an arm hair or a leg hair or something like that, you can still, it's connected to the nervous system. So it's sending those messages. Then we have glabrous skin. That's skin without hair follicles, and it's also more sensitive. So that's usually your lips, okay? That's your fingertips. Start to think of these areas that are super duper sensitive. And then you can see the layering in the skin and then how that works and where the nerves end up connecting to, right? Connecting to the skin fibers, connecting to the dermis and the epidermis. So you get a good idea of where our stimuli, receptors, and then pathways and stuff take place. So here when we're looking at the tongue, and we're going to map our tongue later this week. I think we're doing that Thursday on the schedule for this year. But we've got these little taste buds, right? And you can see them. You stick your tongue out, okay? You can see the papillae. You can see those little bumps. So in those, you actually have little Gostori hairs. You got little hairs and these pores inside your taste buds with cells. And at the bottom of your taste bud, you've got the nerve fibers that come out, okay, and they head to your brain to send the messages of things that you taste to your brain, what tastes good and what tastes bad. Those cells are all individual, right? They're a little bit different from each other, which gives everybody a unique sense of taste and the things that they like based upon the chemicals being released in our food. The old tongue map down here at the bottom right, be aware that no longer is really accurate, and that we can identify, all the taste buds on our tongue can identify those different tastes, and they're all over the place. We also have those that are super tasters, right, with overly sensitive and oversized taste buds. And then finally, we've got our olfactory senses, okay? And our olfactory bulb, you can see there in the top left, is located, right, kind of in the center front of our brain, right above where our nose would be and kind of behind our eyes. And you see there with the nose diagram just below it, right above your palate, you can see those the nasal cavity with the olfactory nerves coming down. So as we're bringing in all those scents, it's getting caught in our mucus and the hairs. And then you can see how on the top right, those fibers go down, okay? And they're able to connect and send that message right back up to the olfactory bulb. And again, this is closely tied to our sense of taste, okay? Because the odor is sending those messages to our brain to help us recognize the smell and the taste to make sense of it, that without the sense of smell, many tastes become a lot more bland, okay? And it doesn't trigger the same excitatory response in our brains. Okay? So these are kind of the breakdowns of those different senses that we'll be getting into.